All right, hello, this is Wmpyr. Back to answer some of your comments again. So this one right here, first is this photo. It says the Diamond Defense. The Diamond Defense uses the defense bag. So this is working on the Diamond Defense skill. Because I don't have a defense bag in this photo, obviously, but you could see I'm holding a training knife. The ball is, I think it was from Nerf, okay, the company. And it was a special ball that they released a couple of years back, or yeah, quite a bit, a few years back, right? And it is a skeletonized construction, very interesting. But what's good about that is I could put a chain through it, and that's what I did. I have a chain through it, and it's hanging off of a big branch, and I'm able to work on the force-to-force block with this training knife for the purpose of diamond defense. So even though the diamond defense is a simple skill that doesn't take, a whole lot of practice, like you don't have to be a super athlete to be able to use this. However, it's still important to practice as much as you can. So this is the kind of training that you should be doing. And this is great because it is solo training. Okay, so let me go into the comment. So as far as the comments go, once again from SF Zip. So thank you, buddy, for these comments. And okay, so the first one says, I'm excited to learn about the B1 Escrima system because I know these techniques are tried and true in the real world, tested by you. So can't wait to start training with a style that emphasizes practicality and real world effectiveness. So, all right, thank you for the super kind words. Let me encourage you guys to never ever, take my word for it or any other instructor's word for it. Okay. So when they say, everybody says mine is practical, mine is effective, mine is, designed for the real world, and it's been thoroughly tested. Everybody pretty much says that kind of thing. Okay. So what you have to understand is you don't want to fall for the marketing. And there's only one thing that you can do is you test it out yourself. Now, that doesn't mean go into a horrible neighborhood like I did and go try it. You could be way smarter than that. I was dumb when I did that, okay? What you can do is you could make simulations. So simulate it. And it doesn't even have to require a partner, but a lot of them will. It's sometimes there's no two ways around it. So you want to get a training partner and practice this stuff together and test it out as much as you guys can. All right. And don't be so quick to judge is what I'm saying. Don't be so quick to come to conclusions because, if I did that, my stuff would not be where it is today. It took many, many years. There were many things that I thought a certain way, and then I had to change it. I had to admit things, and I had to rework things and rediscover things. So, have an open mind and test this stuff out for yourself. Why? Because you need to make it your own. I could tell you all I want that it worked for me in the streets. This worked for me. That doesn't help you. Just because I could do it in my situation, you might be in a totally different neighborhood, and for it to work for you, you got to practice it, you got to train it, you got to test it, you got to question it, So never forget that, and be sure that you do that, all right? And the key word here is make it your own. I don't want you to carry my banner. I don't want you to become an affiliate, because to me, I don't believe in those things, and that is like, I don't want to be a cult leader, okay? And I'm not trying to be mainstream either. So, please make it your own. Evolve it, for yourself. And if that results in you making up your own style, that's excellent, all right? That's what you should be doing. So, all right, the next one here. is I'm having trouble visualizing the quick transition from the grab to the wrapping. Yes. For the longest time, I didn't even know that you could make that jump from grab to wrap. I thought they were two totally different things. And there are many self-defense instructors that teach the grab, whether it's one-handed grab or two-handed grabs, and they say this is the way to go. And then I see other instructors teaching the wrap, where they go, this is the way to go. And I think my system is unique because I'm teaching you to connect the two and saying you go from the grab to the wrap, right? And the self-defense instructors that teach the grab or the wrap, like I said, a lot of them don't combine it like I do. It's completely separate. Not a lot of them. I haven't seen a single self-defense instructor say you go from grab to wrapping. Every video I've seen on YouTube, it's two different things, right? And I used to think that way. I did. But there is a hole with the grab. If you only do the grab, the question is, what happens afterwards? Because now you are in a tug of war. Because I'm grabbing their wrist, whether it's with one hand or two hands, and now they're trying everything they can to yank their arm out so that they could stab me. And so the explanations I've seen is that self-defense instructors say that's where you're going to, you attack their eyes, you headbutt them, you knee them in the balls. And to me, that's not a good enough explanation because they could do the exact same thing back to you. So to me, that's weak. There's a hole there in the system. And then the people that they're teaching wrapping only, the hole is, yeah, it's all great when you get there. Okay, it's nice and secure. That's why I teach it. The problem is, how do you get there? And if you're not grabbing to get there and you just immediately wrapping, you're getting cut. And I've seen videos where the instructor does get cut and they say, well, they ignore it, or they say in a knife fight, you're gonna get cut. And that to me is a big hole. That's a big hole, and I cannot accept that, because when I tested it out for myself, I got cut, yes, but I got cut badly. That's the key word. I got cut so bad that I could not say that this was a success. It was a failure. If you just go straight to the wrap, I got disemboweled. I got stabbed really hard in my intestines, and it could have been, you could get stabbed in the groin, you could get stabbed in your femoral artery. It could be, it could be devastating. So there's a big old hole there. I solved both of those holes by putting the grab and the wrap together. Okay. And like I said, I didn't even know that was possible. I thought there were two totally separate situations. But when I discovered that you can, it was a game changer. And it took many, many years. I wish I could tell you that I was smart enough to discover it faster, to think about it, and come up with this solution much quicker. But no, it took many years, unfortunately. So to go from the grab to the wrap, the best way that I could explain it is grab a very, very light dumbbell, like a dumbbell that weighs like 2 pounds, like the ones like for aerobic exercises. So grab that, lift it up in the air, okay, let go and grab it again. That's what that's like, to go from the grab to the wrap. It's a split second. It's a split second transition. It's totally doable. It might seem really weird, and you might go, I don't like the idea of letting go for even though it's a split second. Try it with a partner. Okay, and that's the only way you can get good at it, is try it with a partner. And as you do it, there are little nuances that you're going to discover that you'll become better at doing, but you have to practice it. Okay. Now the next part says, I can't see the knife in the pictures after the grab, but I assume it's very close to the back. And under the wrap, the attacker cannot work the knife to cut me. Could you explain how the knife is neutralized in that position? So the first question is, let me go with, The attacker cannot work the knife to cut me. No, absolutely. The attacker can cut you. That's the truth. Absolutely. They can totally cut you. All right. That being said, this cut is one that I can accept. Where, you know, where people say in a knife fight you're going to get cut. This is one that I would put in that category. All right. Getting disemboweled or getting stabbed in my intestine is not one that I can accept. But this one will be superficial. Okay. This one is superficial. Now, the key thing is if you do the wrap correctly, you could minimize getting cut, or you could even get to the point where you don't get cut at all, which is awesome. And that's what we're going for. Okay. It's very possible to not get cut at all. And that's what I'm trying to encourage you guys to be able to do. So when you wrap their arm, so you go from the grab to the wrap, remember this is on the wrist, okay? This is right on their wrist. So you're pinning their wrist, meaning you're limiting the control of how much wiggle space they get. The more room they have, the more they could wiggle around and cut you. They can cut you better, the more room. But if you limit that, so if you're right on the wrist, pretty much on the hand, then you're really, really taking away that wiggle room. So if you do that, then you minimize the cut big time, okay? So that's how you neutralize it. And the other thing is, I said that you go from the wrap immediately to the wrench. So once you start wrenching, that's a wrist lock that you're putting them in. And a wrist lock means that their wrist is not going to be able to move much, okay? Because it's going to be locked up. And by that point, their skeleton is locked and their grip is compromised. They're bare, you know, that alone is very uncomfortable. They could be barely holding on to the knife. So once you start wrenching, even more so, you decrease the chance of them being able to cut you. Okay. And remember, their instinct is once you grab their wrist, is they want to pull away. Okay. So if they're trying to pull away, they're trying to get away from you. That makes it more limiting for their wrists to move around. The higher up you are on their arm, the more their wrist can move, right? So imagine if I secured the wrap on their bicep or higher, then they could use their elbow and their wrist, and for sure by that point they'll be able to stab me deep in the kidney from behind, okay? But if I come all the way down to the wrist, then they won't be able to use their elbow and the wrist will be very, very limited. So, you know, that is the key right there, is being able to lock up their wrist, all right? And the wrapping is very, very secure. So as they're trying to yank out, you're pinning it to your body and you're wrapping it with your arm. So you're basically got like a bulldog headlock, okay? That's what you got there. Like you're wrestling down a calf, all right? And if they're trying to yank their arm out, I don't care how strong they are, you want them to move your entire body around. So you want them to waste their energy. And in the meantime, as they're trying to do that, that limits their ability to cut you at that point. Now, if they're smart, if they have good sense of combat, okay, good instincts, combat instincts, they'll actually do the opposite and they'll come in near, they'll come in close to you. And the more closer they get to you, the more deeper their arm is, they'll be able to work that arm around and cut you and stab you and stuff. So to combat that, that's where I teach grinding. And grinding, which I call the cheese grater, is you're making a fist with the free arm and you're grinding that on their face. And once you do that, they're going to want to back off. So that will help you maintain the space. It's all about keeping space at this point. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing and take care, folks.